So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. I thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's whole point is inspired by Sam. Sorry about the dog barking. Today's point, or conscious evolving fractal, was suggested by Sam. She mentioned something about what we need to stay alive, right? Like the understanding that yeah, we need food, we need water, etc., to stay alive, right? And the way that I'm kind of absorbing this topic is in a question kind of format. And the question is, we know what we need in order to stay alive, right? Simple enough. Need to drink water, need to sleep, need to eat food. But do we know what we need in order to feel alive, right? Because you can technically stay alive without feeling alive, right? And I feel like we're skirting, some psychobabble here a little bit, probably, because surely all of us feel alive. That if you hit your toe, you feel that. If you wake up from your bed, you feel the warmth or the cold of the air. You can feel these things, right? So you actively feel your own aliveness. And I agree with that. But, but, yesterday we talked a little bit about that feeling of being numb, right? Did I end up using it in my poem? I think I used the weightlessness thing, right? That Brother Joe Schmo was talking about. Amara is here too. Wow! Love to you, little one. Thank you for joining us. We have Shell, we have Cyclone joining us so early. It's a blessing having all of you here. Thank you. I'm gonna read yesterday's poem. I feel like I'm supposed to. Yesterday we talked about stepping into stress, right? And we were kind of getting to this fractal of how stepping into stress, how when you feel stressed about some sort of circumstance, talking to someone, asking for something, pursuing some sort of new creative project, etc., etc. Yes, there will be a certain level of low hum stress that comes along with that, but also that adrenaline, that fullness of that moment is going to make you feel alive, right? So we're going to continue down that fractal. There's a little fly that's been in my field of vision since sitting down. Like, please, there's like so much space. Oh, look, oh, right around us, there's space in every direction. Stepping into the stress. Yesterday's poem goes as such. So many things will stand in the way, force you to leave, convince you to stay, let you believe you won something every time you don't. Hard is it to know that which you escaped, good, bad, or somewhere in between. Nothing is lost, but nothing is gained, making us feel numb all over again. Floating in a bubble of what makes us safe, weightless, but unable to hold on to anything, free, but grounded in nothing. Surely we are here for something. Even if it means we will stress, show up for it, you'll be impressed. One can never know that which isn't. Go and find out what you've been missing. That little fly is filling me with murderous intent. Oh, fly, please. Oh, there's so much room for you. Oh, if I catch you, you're dead. Oh, you're playing with a dangerous creature right now. Right? Just imagine yourself, an entity. Maybe there's something, maybe, you know what? Maybe this is the lesson I'm supposed to be absorbing. Maybe that fly feels more alive when he flies in the face of danger, right? Me being the danger whose face he's flying in. And now he doesn't get to feel alive anymore. I'm sorry, little fly. I did warn you. I begged you even. I was like, bro, please save yourself. No, no, I choose death, little fly says. Okay, I'm gonna put the morbidity down. I feel like the basic answer is human dignity. Unfortunately, my errands begin early this morning. I will, however, enjoy hearing the recap from all of you in Sangha. I don't think there is going to be Sangha today, Sam. Maybe you can do Sangha actually. Like, I would actually suggest this. Sangha technically just means community get together, right? I feel like maybe Shan, if you'd be willing to, still post a link. I just have some getting ready to do because I'm leaving tomorrow for a week plus. All right. So I'm going to have to get some things done. I want to wash my yoga mat. I want to wash some clothing again. I need some stuff to do. Thank you, though. Thank you for being here even for a moment. We have Simon here, Mojo joining us too. Sending all of you friends blessings. Shell, hey, there's Joy Vive even. I got a haircut. Me too. How about that, Amara? I also got a haircut today. Right? I just got my tips trimmed, but I also got a haircut. We're haircut buddies. How about that? Morning to you again, Joy. Blessings. Mojo, lovins to you too. Thank you for joining us, friend. It's nice having all of you. How's your first week of school, Amara? Good. Be right back. We'll see you soon on the other side. Let's do a speed run of rolling a joint while Amara's not here. I can feel less bad about it. A little bit less bad about it. What is it? What does it take to feel alive? Getting close to death? Is that the lesson I'm supposed to take away? We did kind of talk about that yesterday, right? We did. We actually did talk about that. It's interesting how it comes back up, in a different way. Need food, need sleep, need water, need warmth, right? Is that all? To stay alive? I'm gonna just do alive. Feel alive, stay alive, be alive. Alive. I'm imagining what it would be like for a version of self, a person or not, watching this right now with this version of me being dead, right? At least this version of me that I shall become, this version of me that will eventually no longer be alive. Does it feel like I'm alive right now? Right? Like, that's the thing I'm tripping out about. Even in knowing, right? Like, you might be watching this 100 years in the future and you know I'm dead. And yet, here I am talking about being alive. Is it making you feel alive? Or is it doing the opposite? I wonder. Runes. I shall do the self, Isa, the experience of standing as a self. I will do Fehu, abundance. I will do Yera, cycles. Right? To live and to die. I will do enlightenment. Hopefully I reach it at some point. And then I shall do I shall do ride. Partly because it makes me think about Rudo, my brother. Looks like an R. There we go. All done. Melting people. Hey, Dan. Sending you lovin's, bro. What does it take to make you feel alive, Dan? That's the question we're asking of ourselves. We know what we need to do in order to stay alive, right? But what do we need to do in order to feel alive? I feel like that question is of utmost importance. Especially today, right? Like, our generation of people have very little to look forward to, unfortunately. People are fucking struggling, yo. Like, I saw this video of a lady talking on like some sort of TikTok video about how she can find moments of joy things to be grateful for in her immediate world, her friends, but she doesn't have anything to look forward to in her future. Right? And it breaking my heart to feel that, right? To feel her heart in her saying that we are staying alive, but we're not feeling alive as a society right now because of this conditioning we found ourselves within. It's a lot. That's what it is. I thought something seemed different. Melt, you trimmed hair. It looks nice and fresh. Thank you. Yeah, it feels like I'm bobbing a little bit, right? Still technically long, but it seems like they've gotten some new elasticity or something. I'm happy with it. My mom has been, I don't want to use the word nag, uh, encouraging me to get my hair cut by her. And I was like, and then today she was like, come on, bro. Is that Elaine saying hello to us? Blessings. Duck Dad joining us too. So freaking cool having you two here. Blessings. So many blessings to you. Of course, I feel you, Loazana. Do you squirm and cry the whole time you're getting a trim melt? I used to. I used to not squirm and cry, just I guess squirm, no crying. Right? Squirm in my mind is no, don't do that. No, don't cut too much of it. Nah, 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 nah. I used to. I used to. Today I just sat there in silence. And the thing I was thinking about, however, is realizing that I don't enjoy that. Right? That was what I was really articulating in my mind of like, oh, I dislike having my haircut. Gobbity goo, you got a haircut today? Happy haircut day. You look sharp. Thank you, Gob. Next time, let you straighten it before stream. Bruh, the odds are higher that you see me getting hit by a car before you see me with straight hair, dude. I've straightened my hair a total of 2 times in my life. One time, my sister did it. The second time, my then girlfriend did it before we went to like a local small town party. And let me let you know, Gab, I've never in my life felt that awkward, right? I already feel like an imposter, like I don't belong sometimes, right? I feel like the conversation, and as a matter of where you find yourself, right? I rarely feel like I belong where I am right now. And then going to a party in this in this area with straightened hair, I felt like an alien straight up. I was like, this is not all right. We were there for like 2 hours, and then I told my then girlfriend, hey yo, I want a GTFO, yo, please. I really do not like this. That was before I figured out how to talk to people though, so it's mostly my fault, to be completely honest. Because I learned in the meanwhile that I can talk to people. I can more like code switch. I think that's the right word. I can morph my personality into what people need me to be in the moment, right? And for the longest time, I felt a deep sense of disdain for having to do that because it felt like I was betraying myself. But now I just think of it as an opportunity to make the other person feel important. I'm trying to attach it to how it makes me feel alive, right? Makes me feel alive to make other people enjoy life, I guess. Intimacy is what makes me feel alive. Like intimacy in any form. Intimacy. Into me, I see. Love Guru permanently brain damaging me. I mean, I'm trying to think if mine is also intimacy, Dan. I don't know if it is for me, right? I have felt pretty alive in intimate moments, but I feel more alive in conversation. Maybe that's it. I mean, I hear Dan be like, that is intimacy, bro. You stupid asshole. You're right, Dan. Maybe I do actually also find life and intimacy. Maybe that is our wisdom to be taking away from it today. Feel alive by seeing into me, into the you that you are, right? Because quite literally, that is what it is to be alive, right? Or at least to feel alive is when you feel, you see into that experience deeply. Going, I love when I get here and Melt is just staring off, thinking like, huh. Yes, I'm wisdoming right now. Don't interrupt me. I'm wisdoming even harder. I'm wisdom twoing. Eating a full English breakfast makes me feel alive. Yeah, yeah, enjoy, dude. I hope you have an amazing breakfast, dear one. I mean, if it's English, you're probably also in your afternoon right now. So I should check myself. Simon, how was the darts? Looking up the Dutch player you mentioned. Good answer, Dan. It is a good answer. Love to you as well, brother Duck Dad. Morning to you. Slowly approaching 1,000 days, dude. Dude, I'm like, weirdly enough, it's stressing me out a little bit. Stressing me out a little bit, knowing that I'm gonna hit 1,000 days real soon. Right? It's stressing me out because I want it to be special. Right? But it's gonna be special even if it's not made to be special, right? 1,000 days has its own specialness. And I remember Shell kind of like echoing that understanding. Part of me wants to just sit in silence. Part of me knows that that's definitely not gonna happen. Part of me would like to, make a whole thing out of it. I think it is gonna be on a Wednesday. So we will get to dance in celebration of 1,000 days. 1,000 of anything is a lot. I was thinking about that today, weirdly enough, during my Shavasana. Corpse pose, you just lay there and you think about shit. And I was thinking about how me as a 14-year-old, so like, maybe I should share this with you friends. We were having this conversation about who are our heroes, right? And I mentioned PewDiePie and Joe Rogan are like two of my heroes. And I feel like it wasn't really received that well. But they are my heroes because they literally saved my life. All right, like actually, when I was 14, 15, 16, I wanted to die. And being able to tune into these people's content, listen to them, feel like I have a friend, made me feel like there is something to look forward to, something to live for. Right? So in that way, they did kind of save my life. And then I would remember going into like PewDiePie's like video folder and seeing that he's like uploaded like 2,000 videos or whatever. And it just melting my brain, thinking that someone made 2,000 of something, right? Maybe there's a kid out there watching Meltmore right now, having the whole same trip. Yeah, get inspired, yo. Love you. You got this. Continue. Do not give up. It's gonna take time, but you will feel alive. Believe me. Believe you me. Looked it up on YouTube too. Nice. Even more synchronicity. So much love. It's 9:16 a.m. and I'm somewhat still in bed. I'm confused, but content. Confused that you're still in bed? Is it an oddity for you to be in bed this late or something? You're like, is this what relaxation feels like? What's happening right now? Next time, let her straighten. No, dude, I'm sorry. Straight hair would look so unique. I'd love to see it. Do I have any photos of me? Oh, is that Naomi? Naomi! What a trip. Weirdly enough, Naomi, I was watching a movie recently. It's called Realive. It's bad. Don't watch it. It's not that good. I watched it for the premise. The premise is dude gets cancer, cryogenically freezes himself in hopes that he will be revived in the future. The year 2085 rolls around, they revive him. He doesn't want to be alive anymore. And his partner in the life that he was living before was also called Naomi. And when I heard that name, I was like, I know a Naomi. And I was sending you lovin's. And here you are. Manifestation. It's nice having you here. Sending you blessings, dear one. My friend is turning 30 next month. You guys might have met Tim. It's his wife, Taylor. I don't know what that word means. What? You guys might have met Tim. It's his wife, Taylor. No, I don't know. I don't know if maybe we've met Tim. I think maybe you had Tim in here for like one of the streams. I think maybe we met him that way, if anything. +1, straightening it. Will look good flying in the breeze on the motorcycle. Like, I do not look alright with straight hair. I look like a different version of myself. I look like a more sleazy version of myself, right? Like, if I went through the trouble of straightening my hair, I'll probably go through the trouble of, you know, stealing your socks or something. I don't know. Hey, something really pulled me here today. I think I needed it. Having a bad anxiety day all of a sudden. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I sent you the anxieties, but sending you blessings now, Naomi. It's nice having you here, even if you're here because of some anxiety. Naomi, I'm proud of you as well, Simon. I see you saying no beer today. I'll cheers to that. Let me pour myself some water. Let's drink water in celebration of Simon not drinking beer. Naomi, that seems to be going around here too. Warm hugs or high fives, whichever you prefer. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things to be anxious about. Like, we're reaching a critical inflection point. Everybody is struggling right now. Is that on beat too? So much blessings to you. Even Lisa's here. It's nice having you, friends. Sending you all lovin's. Anxiety, right? Like, I'm trying to attach a positive vector to anxiety. To be like, yeah, sure, we might be anxious right now, but also being anxious makes you feel alive, right? You're like viscerally aware of your own aliveness. Is that a Jovantu? Sending you blessings. Love to you as well, Shell. Thank you for joining us, dear friends. That's my answer, because I think hell is just separation from God. Yeah, I believe that too, but I don't believe there is such a thing, right? Like, it can be conceptual. You can like head in the opposite direction, but even if you head in the opposite direction, you're still going to be in the same space, kind of vibe, right? And also, I believe that God is just all of us. So intimacy is like the deepest level of connection, the opposite of hell. I like that, dude. Connection is what makes us feel alive, right? And you can connect with a bunch of different things. You can connect with your English breakfast, right? As Simon beautifully said, you can connect with your pet, giving them scritches. You can connect with plants and giving them water. You can connect with animals and taking care of them. You can connect with people and showing up for conversations. You can connect with yourself and dancing, connect with the music, right? And all of these things do give us that sense of, I feel alive, right? You don't need it to stay alive. I don't need to take care of animals, have conversations, you know, eat delicious food necessarily in order to stay alive, right? And I added the delicious because sometimes the food might not be that appetizing, for example, but you can still live eating that, right? But it does make us feel alive, getting to enjoy those things, connecting with God. I like that, dude. Thank you, Dan, for sharing that wisdom, bro. I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I'm happy you brought yourself here today. Yeah. I made a full American breakfast for dinner last night for the wife and I. So good. Love to you, Duck. Thank you for taking care of both of you. Love, love, love is true. Intimacy. I want every single one of you water molecules to dance beautifully with every single one of the water molecules that's already inside my body. Apparently, your body can't absorb the water you drink. Not in the form you drink it. Your body apparently has to crystallize it somehow before it gets absorbed. That's why if you drink a lot of water, you have to go to the bathroom a lot, because that water literally cannot be absorbed. At least not all of it. Most beautiful peeps. Love to you again, Lisa. It's nice having you. My show went well. I did, in fact, shred. Of course you did, Lane. I mean, yeah. I mean, let's be surprised. Oh, Lane slayed, shredded, to death. Wow. I never knew that Lane was so awesome. All of us being like, we know Lane's super awesome. We know, but we're telling him anyway. Wednesday is the day I had to drive to Wisconsin for nuclear fish. Fancy seeing you here. Love again. Anxiety is just temporary. Naomi, hanging there. Love is true. Thank you, Simon, for echoing that love as well. Mm-mm. Felt I needed to be here. Figured it might help calm and ground me a bit to ease the anxious and nauseous feelings. Yeah. Today's intention that I wrote in the joint is to feel alive, Naomi. So with that in mind, maybe there's room for us to see this feeling of anxiety as just a deep sense of aliveness, right? The other side of the coin, right? Because you might feel alive exuberantly, joyously, but you might also feel alive dreadfully, right? In anxiety. So seeing that polarity as well, knowing that you have experienced the other side of it, knowing you will again. To being alive, dear friends. Breakfast for dinner is great. I love eating food so that I can eat food. Do I eat breakfast for dinner? I've had cereal at like 12 p.m. So yeah, I guess I guess I have. Well, you save your own life. We all do every day. It's true, Joy. It's true. People help though. People do help. Having something to look forward to. Consistency saved my life, right? Other people's consistency saved my life. And I feel like maybe that is why I ended up being the way I am. Why we're here right now, right? Why we're here right now, saving each other. Not from the perspective of needing a savior, but from the perspective of helping, right? Like seeing it as the metaphorical scooping buckets of water out of our sinking little boat or whatever, right? Attach your analogy here. I hope we can bring some calm to your mind, Naomi. Thank you, Lane. All of you friends sending so much love, and I feel you already are. Yes, exactly. At least I am somewhat aware of why I'm feeling this way, and that it will always pass. Just need to surround myself with friends and good vibes. Yeah, you're doing the right thing, Naomi. You're doing exactly what is expected of you, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just showing up for people that love you. Naomi, please Google feelings wheel and start the outer perimeter. It's helpful to name the fields. Shell has been sharing that wisdom. It's like a wheel of like complexity, right? Like the edge is higher complexity, and then the closer you get to the center, the more simple those feelings become. And in knowing the edges, the outer fractal, it might be easier for you to deal with the core of that experience. Thank you, Shell, for offering that lovance as well. Yeah, I used to have a printed copy of the feeling wheel. How about that? She already knows it. Now that you mentioned it, I don't know whatever happened to that. Weirdly enough, Naomi, I used to have a printed Merkaba symbol that had like the flower of life surrounding it. And then around that flower of life was a bunch of religious iconography, symbols, logos, right? And it was basically just this understanding of all of these religions, in the same way as the feeling wheel, all of these religions are like trying to get at the flower of life, which is trying to get at this connection we have with the divine. And for some reason, that's also just gone. I feel like my dad probably threw it away. He doesn't like stuff like that, right? Like I'm bringing spirits into the house or whatever. I'm like, okay. But yeah, print another one if you have the access to. Must bounce for some duckling snuggles. Bless, bro. Go and love your little one. Thank you, Duck Dad, for sending us some of your love as well. Dan saying, yeah, that's what I meant, Melt. Tim, been in the stream for a few times. There we go. And his wife is turning 30. We've all been friends since college. Are you going to go and do something? Is he living close by enough for you to? Send her our blessings as well when it's her birthday. Lots of beautiful people here today. I mean, you find yourself amongst those beautiful people because you are one. Thank you for joining us, Siobhan. Naomi, that's one time when I was anxious and nauseous. This group, someone, was it Joy who told me to go outside and put my feet into the grass. Can you do that? She does live in Canada. I don't know if there's snow. Maybe not yet. Maybe already. I think even if you put your feet in the snow, that would probably be pretty grounding as well, right? You're gonna be feeling alive. Your body's gonna be like, hey bro, or bro set, or Messiah, get out of the snow. Oh, I'm dying. I'm going to unalive if you continue standing in the snow. Please save your life. And that might help, right? Just feeling that way. Ah, I want to stay alive. You can also do it by holding your breath. Upon closing my eyes, I saw an arrow pointing forward. And then when I followed that arrow's trajectory, I saw what in my mind registered as the tree of life. Upon approaching the tree of life, I saw a hammock hanging between the branches. And in that hammock was a baby lying down. Getting closer to the baby was holding a snake. And it was at that point that I decided to breathe out. What does that mean to you? Does it make you feel alive? Am I the baby holding the snake? Hey Google, if I dreamt about holding a snake, what does that mean? Subconscious association. Snake dreams mean that your body needs to heal or is already going through the healing process. The way you interact with the snake could help tell the difference. Signs of acting healing include touching or picking up the snake. You see, now this is like where things get weird, right? Because like I didn't know that, and yet it feels right. It feels like, ah, yes, of course. I'm holding the snake as a baby hanging in the tree of life, as a willingness to heal myself of this experience of not feeling alive or not wanting to, right? Okay. How beautiful is that bird song? Can you hear that? Whip. Turned his little head towards me. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to imposter you. See if I can show you what he looks like. I don't think I'll be able to look with this lens, but he's sitting. That little, that's him. It's too far away. To imagine like a little spot on the screen is making a noise loud enough that it can be heard on my stream. Snake number 2, but not mechanical. And it didn't go into your arm. Yeah. The other one wasn't a snake. The other one was more insectoid, right? It only had snake-like features, but it was insect first. If the head is insect, that means it's mostly insect, right? Thinks like an insect. But it was the backside, right? Like I didn't tell your friends about that dream. That one is too much. That one is too triggering, right? That one can mess your shit up. I feel like this one is kind of fine. A baby holding a snake, right? I've been fascinated with snakes since I was a little kid. I feel like they're one of the the coolest animals to handle, right? That you can have a bird like sit on your finger or on your shoulder, right? Experience makes you feel alive in one way. You can have a dog standing on its own little legs, being held in your arms. You're giving it pets. Lane is leaving. We love you, Lane. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for spending some time with us. Cats. Maybe they don't like being picked up that much, so you're just giving it like head scratches. Snake. An animal that literally coils itself around your arms, right? And then if they are kind of like movie, they'll like move in a direction, and then you can like let them coil between your hands. It's such a weird mode of consciousness, handling a snake. I'm trying to attach that experience, the mode of consciousness of handling the snake. And this is not sexual innuendo. We're attaching it specifically today towards self-healing, right? Like shedding skins, essentially. Transcending the old version of yourself, knowing it's going to be uncomfortable, knowing a part of you is going to get melted away so that you can be that which you're supposed to be. Realizing that that version of you that is trying to grow is kind of slippery, right? Hard to handle. Not hard to handle, weird to handle, because it's contrived, right? It goes up, it goes down, it goes left, it goes right, it goes around. It's it's all encompassing, right? The Ouroboros is literally the self-eating snake, as another fractal for what this universe is. Most loved. Gigi, thank you for joining us. It's nice having you here. Apologies in advance, but got me singing, baby snake, baby snake. You know, like my mind, I feel is like a little bit twisted, but I feel like I can't really take responsibility for it. I'm gonna blame the internet. Right? It's the internet's fault. It's not my fault. I completely absolve myself of any responsibility. Like I'm imagining, right? Because I had to painstakingly watch a lot of Baby Shark the do videos when I was in China, because for some reason the freaking kids love that shit. I could not understand why, but they love it. They love it. They're like so stoked to Baby Shark to do. And then in those videos, there's like sharks swimming, right? And then daddy shark comes in, and then mommy shark comes in, and then baby shark comes in. And with daddy snake, I'm just imagining snakes in the same kind of fashion, flying through the air, but then like launching themselves at people's faces. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did say I'm just a little bit twisted, just a little bit. All right, it's imagination, right? It could be a comical relief. It's gonna be funny, right? Like, oh, you see, it's funny because normally it's a kid's song about little animated sharks, and now we're changing into snakes, and the snakes are graphically flying into people's faces. You see, that's why it's funny. Please. I'm so sorry. Oh, happy birthday. Wait a second, it's Miles's birthday? Getting ready for Miles's birthday party. He's probably not here, but sending him love and thank you, Aunt B, for letting us know so we can celebrate and mind your little one as well. At one time, love again. Interesting you say that, Mel, because the past 2 days I have been having this nervous anxiety, but the kind that makes me feel heightened and alive at the same time. And then today, it feels crushing suddenly. I saw the equivalent of a scope. What are you aiming at? Right? Is that causing you anxiety, Naomi? Maybe that's the question I'm supposed to ask. Happy birthday to Miles. So much love is being sent. Shell, I was thinking of going outside, although the weather is not great. I know other people feel grounded being barefoot outside, but I personally am super uncomfortable when I do it. I mean, technically, you can buy yourself long iron nails and maybe like thin chains. You can buy thin chains. Thin chains could work, but you're gonna have to tension it, or a cable, right? Some sort of metal cable, and then you can just go outside, technically fully dressed, right, in your parka or whatever. I don't know what your coat. I think that's the right word. You can go fully dressed in your coat, step that nail into the soil, and then hold on to that wire. You could get some of the benefits, right? I know this sounds super insane, like it doesn't make any sense. I might be completely wrong, but apparently, right, because of mass in the scale of this world, your body builds up charge, right? You know how your brain cells literally fire as electrons passing through little conduits in your brain, right? And you're moving your fingers by sending electrons to these muscles so they can contract or not. You build up charge. And then when you go outside, because of the massive difference in charge between you and the earth, you ground yourself, literally, by touching the earth. And you can still ground yourself in that same way by doing it through a wire without having to touch your feet on the ground, technically, or having to be outside of your nice, cozy, warm clothing. But this is, again, I feel a little bit fringe right now. I don't know if there is really conclusive data on that, but it is something that I try to do myself. I want to see if I can show you friends that burp now. He got a little bit closer. You see him? There it is. Little bear burp. Do the thing. Do the roar. Do the roar one more time. Do the roar. Do the roar. I feel like he knows he's being watched. Did he just turn his little... There he goes. What? Yeah. Did you see him move when he does his little song? doing his job, right? Making sure all of the ladies in the vicinity know that he's here. I am here. I am announce myself. I am exist. Hello, I was coming out. Maybe we can take, like, I just imagine, right? Like, imagine like human mating was the same thing, right? Like if you felt like you were ready for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? You would just go outside and then start screaming as loud as you can. So until someone that also happens to be looking for a boyfriend or girlfriend happens to be in the vicinity. And then they're like, oh, someone wants to get laid. I want to get laid. And I can hear them screaming right now. So guess I'm gonna have to go outside. How insane would society be? Like, I feel like alternate version of reality, that's how it works, you know? Weirdly enough, I think we would have less problems. Unironically, we probably would have less problems. Because right now, I feel it's exponentially more contrived. it's almost funny. Not snow year yet. That's good, at least. But we just have a tall end of a hurricane turned tropical storm yesterday. And through the night, it is supported to be nice later today, though. It is supposed to be nice later today, though. Sending you good weather. Blessings, Naomi. That hammock is where I sleep, of course. Now, instantaneously, the baby has Joe Schmo's face. Congratulations, bro. Didn't you have a dream about a snake mouth? I've had plenty of dreams about snakes. I dream about snakes all the time. I don't think the other one was technically... I mean, like, okay, so I still don't really want to share this story because it is yikes, right? It is kind of yikes. But I'm gonna share it now anyway. You've been warned. You've been warned. I found myself at a family get-together in this dream. And I do, since being a little kid, like the experience of going exploring where I find myself, right? In moderation, knowing where I'm supposed to get back to. And I go exploring and I like look under rocks, you know, I'm looking for like creatures or whatever. And I look under this rock and I see the body of a snake, right? Loving snakes, I pick it up. But then upon picking it up, I realized that this snake has the front side, right? Like the head features and those 6 little scrawny, sticky legs of a worm. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is even more novel than I thought it was. I thought I was picking up a snake. Turns out I picked up some sort of insectoid snake, right? So, of course, I feel like I have to take it with me. And as I start walking back to the rest of my family, and this is the yikes part, right? So maybe like turn your volume down for the next 20 seconds if you don't want to hear this. Fair warning, that insectoid snake then buries itself inside of my hand, right? It goes all the way inside and it coils itself. In reverse, though, with the insectoid side pointing closest to the wound, the entry wound. I then proceed to take a pair of tweezers, grab onto it, and then slowly extract it from myself. And it was, and continues to be, even though I know it's a dream, one of the most traumatizing things I have experienced. So in this state of trauma, right, it's like visceral shock, severe, like almost dissociation of what the hell just happened to me. For some reason, after extracting the snake from myself, it disintegrated, right? That it ceased to exist. So I run back to my family and I try to explain to them what just happened to me, right? And they're like, nah, fam. Nope, not true, right? There is no such a thing as an insectoid snake. There's no such thing. Oh, what are you talking about? You're talking crazy. And I'm like in the space of like, I'm serious, yo. And I show them like the hole in my hand. And they're like, nah, dude, you probably just like fell and like scuffed yourself up. Maybe like hit your head or something. And it was this multifaceted experience of like going through something so odd that it was unbelievable to me surviving that experience. Like it's unbelievable that I found an insectoid snake. It's unbelievable that it wants to bury itself inside my body, right? And then extracting it and being able to, right? Like that was one of the other things. There was a certain level of satisfaction to being able to perfectly extract the entire thing, right? In like one go. That was like a part of the psychological weirdness to it, right? And then going through my family and trying to explain to them this odd thing that I had experienced that I cannot explain. Oh goodness, now I'm attaching more fractals to it than I did the previous time. I feel like I'm gaining more understanding about what the dream is supposed to mean. My parents, my family would not believe me. And I had to be okay with that. I had to accept. Yeah. You know what? I can explain to you what I think it's supposed to mean, but I feel it means more if I don't, right? Like I feel like that insectoid snake that you had to extract from yourself might be something different for every single one of us. And the way we did it, the tweezers we used might be different as well. So I feel like it's a matter of perspective, right? What does it mean to you? Man, I'm sitting directly in the line of sight. Oh, son, you're so powerful. You're so much stronger than me, yo. Like I cannot fight you. I shall move. Just imagine, things millions of kilometers away from the Earth. I'm moving for it. I'm like gonna, I'm gonna be like, nah, dude. I'm so sorry, I'm in your way. I see. I'm in your way. Let me move out of your way quickly. Oh. I'll probably go and get my stuff again later. Let me get my water though. Yes. My OCD just had a heart attack for a second. This foot needs to go down, and then this needs to, yeah, that's closer to level than it was just a second ago. I had a dream about waffles. Nice. Nice. That's significantly better. Snake number 2, but not mechanical. Go to your arm. The other one is big burp. I mean, that little burpee was bigger than the other ones tend to be. Hey, Crested is here too. Blessings to you. It's nice having you here, friend. Waffles are like pancakes with syrup traps. Another Mitch Hedberg for you. Nice. Perfect. Yeah, it's true. I've heard that one before, weirdly enough. I didn't know it was one of his. Apologies in advance, but you got me singing Love Again. Baby snacks, baby snacks, baby snacks. Good day. Who needs tears? Blessings to you, friend. Sorry for taking so long to read your name. It's nice having you. So many dudes happening. He said, thank you. Love you, tears. I'm slowly trying to convince the neighborhood crows to roost and interact with me. Are you succeeding, dude? You've been telling us about this. Are you getting closer to it? That's the thing that I'm wondering, right? Are you making any tangible, noticeable progress in getting them to start hanging out with you? I like waffles. Waffles are like pancakes with syrup traps. A waffle says to the syrup, hold on now. You ain't going anywhere. Don't even be trying to creep down the side. Just rest in these little squares. Learn that crows are hard to rehabilitate because they imprint on faces so easily. We have one in permanent care named Alistair, and he plays basketball. I'm imagining like small little burp-sized hoops and him putting the little ball through the hoops. So freaking cute. One square is full, move on to the next one. When you hit the butter, split. Love is true. Love you, George Mark. Wait a second. Should I be playing basketball? I mean, do you want to? Right? That should be the question. Is it gonna make you feel alive playing basketball? If yes, then do. Dude, that is a creepy ass dream. Tell me about it. Who needs tears? It was me experiencing it, right? Like it wasn't a dream to me. I feel like that is the real horror. It wasn't a dream to me. I was experiencing that shit. Like it was happening. I feel like that makes it worse, at least in my mind. That makes it exponentially worse, right? Because you friends at least got to have the context of this is a dream, a weird one, a yikes one, on top of that, right? I didn't have that context. I was just like, I will never recover. I will never be okay again. I don't know how I'm going to survive. Gotta go see a field about some flowers. A field about some flowers. A field full with flowers. A field guide about flowers. Maybe that's the closest one to write. Have a good time. I love flowers. I hope you have a good time as well. That sounds horrific. I'm sorry that I had to share it with you friends. I appreciate you friends for sticking around, right? I'm surprised that we didn't go from ex-friends to half-ex friends. Like people being like, yeah, no, peace. I'm staying around after that. Thank you everyone for being here with me. Love you, Naomi. Now that I have calmed down, I feel very hungry and it's 11:53 here. So I think I'm going to make myself lunch. Sending you love. Have a good one. Thank you, Naomi, for spending some time with us. Gotta lead into that stuff. Yeah, you do. Right? The only way through is in. The only way out is in. Like you cannot escape yourself at the end of the day, right? You're still going to have to face that stuff. Embrace the headache so that you can overcome the bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Well, I missed the part where you were able to remove it. Up until clarification, I was under the impression that Melt still had a dream snake worm crawling around in his limbs. No. No, I instantly noticed and instantly remedied the situation. I feel like that was probably not something that I really emphasized because I was more at that point, the previous time I was going through the dream fractal, I was more concerned with my family not believing me, right? because like they couldn't believe me because I had removed it, right? I felt like that was kind of a part of the fractal. Like the thing that I had removed cannot be seen by them. So in their minds, it's not real, right? You see the stuff I'm talking about? You healing yourself mentally cannot be seen by anybody, but it's real. You took something out that used to cause you distress, right? And that is a conscious evolution that you're doing. And your family won't believe you because they can't. They can't see it. They don't understand what you have been through. And to be okay with that, right? To realize you don't need their approval or their understanding to feel alive, to stay alive. Always excited to see you. Bless. Hope you've been well. Thank you, Jovan, for echoing love as well. Thank you, Lawazana, for echoing Gigi. I checked out your YouTube the other day. Some super interesting conversations. Gigi posts stuff as well. I don't even know. Bless. Thank you, Lawazana, for exploring. I hope you feel better as the day continues. Love is true. All of that love is echoed back at you, dear Shan. I am feeling dehydrated. I shall replenish. I am making waffles as we speak. We planted the seed, and now it's becoming manifest. Baby snacks. I'm happy that you went for that one. Doc Dad, she needs a name. No apologies necessary. Love is true. Going to pick up a new truck. She needs a name. What does that mean? Hey, Google, what does baluster mean? A baluster, a lawyer entitled to practice as an advocate, particularly in the higher courts. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but it's a cool word. That's the first word that came to my mind. Barrister. Barrister. Let's go and ride. Barrister. We're gonna ride a lawyer entitled to practice as an advocate, particularly in the higher courts. Yes. His name is Dave. He practices in the higher courts during weekdays and then serves as my vehicle during weekends. Thank you, Mel, for taking the time to expound on things that we say and tell each other what we're bringing up and giving context. That's what conversation is. That's the role I have to play, Shell. It is hard sometimes because I find myself maybe in one fractal and then the depth of the fractal might be too wide for me to want to go into it. But the fact that we are talking about like the dream context and the snake holding and you know what that means, I felt like it was the appropriate, right? We were already in a fractal in that tree, right? I wasn't like building a new tree and then climbing up that tree. It was more like just jumping to the next branch over. Yes, yes, I'm not crazy. I think. I just try to think of the thinking process as something fractal based. And it makes it easier for me to feel alive. Boom. There we go. Yeah, today's stream topic after all. It's a way to add more significance to something as simple as a thought process. Love is love again to you, Kristen. Dad, dreams are like a mush mash meat pile. Just gotta climb out and reclaim your essence. Yeah, reshape yourself in that context, right? Like I feel like that's also something I've been doing with my dreams. Is like, dream, experience, circumstances, me experience circumstances. And like there's an iterative process going on there too. Jovan, I need to come and visit you and also play basketball with Alistair. If not, why not? Don't let your dreams be dreams. Dang it, guess I better jump in the shower. Love to you, Bethany. Enjoy your shower. Joy is today Sunflower Day. I hope so. I don't think she's here anymore. She's already sunflowering or something. Judge, you get yourself a bag of unsalted peanuts and throw them towards the crows or where they eat. They'll love it. Good. Unsalted. Also good to know. Unsalted peanuts. I mean, if I was a crow, I'd probably be stoked for unsalted peanuts, right? Because it would be like the equivalent of eating something the size of a strawberry? No, a kiwi. Yeah, maybe a kiwi. I mean, I can technically fit the whole kiwi in my mouth. And I'm trying to imagine the beak size to peanut ratio and my face size to food item ratio, right? Like imagine eating a peanut the size of a kiwi. Would you enjoy that experience? Would you break your teeth? Like we do not have nuts that big. Please. Rightfully so. Good, right? I don't think it would be great eating cashews the size of bananas, for example. Or maybe it would. Well, what do I know, right? Maybe that's going to be the future. It's like, you know, you ask for a handful of cashews and someone like raises their eyebrows at you. It's like, are you insane? Why would you want a handful of them, dude? One is enough. Oh. One is enough. Oh, and you're like, bro, what do you mean one cashew? Are you the insane one? And they bring out the banana-sized cashews, and you're like, oh, guess I am eating only one cashew, and that's my whole meal for the day. Oh, I need to come and visit. Dang it, love is true. So fresh and clean and clean. Duckling. I saw a green heron the other day. We have the great blue heron here, but I have never seen a green one. So tiny and fierce. If you are a little fish, yeah, it's probably your worst nightmare, dude. You're just casually, you know, and then suddenly the jaws of a monster exponentially larger than you slices into your medium of existence, pinches you on your sides, and then proceeds to rip you out of your environment. That is a big yikes, yo. Everything wants to live, right? That fish is not stoked about getting eaten because it feels alive, right? It knows what it needs to do to stay alive. It needs to eat food and procreate, but it feels alive to the point that it wants to continue feeling that way. It wants to maintain that feeling. Everything, even ants. An ant, if you try and pinch down an ant, it's gonna struggle to get away from you, right? Even the small ones, like the super, super small ones. But even a microorganism, right? Like single cell freaking organisms, if they sense danger, they start in the opposite direction. They also want to continue feeling that sense of alive. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop tripping myself out. Me and the green heron were hanging out today on the porch this morning. Bless, dude. Mel, my device just recognized you saying, hey, I'm sorry about that. One day, hopefully soon, it used to be that way. You could train your model to only respond to a unique phrase or a unique word. They then remove that, probably for marketing purposes, right? Because then you friends get to hear me saying their company name in asking a question, and then you might be more likely to say their company name, and it's us brain damaging ourselves. But I'm okay with it because I still extract information in a appropriate time frame, right? Like it's the time thing for me. It's like how big is the gap between me interrupting myself and actually getting the thing I'm interrupting myself for, right? The bigger that gap, the worse in my mind, right? And I'm willing to what's the word I'm looking for? Put up. I'm willing to put up with some of the brain damage in order to get that gap to be a little bit closer. No. Joe, they're supposedly native here, but I have never seen one. Your porch is the place to be. I feel like Joe Schmo, in large part has that energy where the creatures probably, are just attracted to his space. I did move out of the sun, but the sun is like back with a vengeance. It's like, oh yeah, dude, you think you can run from me? I'm a massive burning ball of gas, floating in space. It's not floating melt. Yeah, technically, no, it's not. Right? If it was floating, and this is the weird thing about space time, if it was floating, it would be floating in multiple planes of ocean at the same time. Right? Converging on a point. Man, gravity. It's not something we have to really think about, and yet you wouldn't be alive. You wouldn't feel alive. Maybe you would feel alive, at least, right? If we go 0 G, you'll still feel alive, but you wouldn't be alive if there was no gravity. It is a part of the process. We used it as a means to an end. Right? Technically, gravity has killed many things as well. Oh, gravity, you beautiful being. I'm thinking about the universal constants right now as like entities. Conservation of momentum. It's like the crackhead of the group. it's like it's like what's his deal? Oh, he just likes to conserve momentum. So every single time he gets hyped, he doesn't want to get unhyped though. He just continues hyping more. Whole group looking at him like this is incoherent screeching. Nothing. There's no, just noise. It's like, yeah, he's super stoked though. Like he's having a good time. Okay. Kristen Bullspit, his own can't understand him. Yeah, sometimes that's also the other side of it. Native. Kristen, nice. Blue errands are freaking dinos. There's one that sneaks up on me in the creek and flies out. I call him Petra Dactyls. That's so cute. Joe Simpson's episode 13, season 13, episode 16, like even the episode number. Homer becomes leader of the crows and gets prescribed medical marijuana. Man, what a day. That happened in the same day. Just imagine you wake up one morning and little did you know that by the end of the day, you will have both a medical marijuana prescription and a bunch of crows in your bed because you are now the leader of the crows. Is that the leader of the crows? Yeah, becomes the leader of crows. That sounds like a cool title. If I could be leader of something, I don't think I'd be leader of crows though, right? I feel like leader of snakes seems super evil, right? I feel like that's unfortunately the weird thing. That just like seems so ominous, right? Like there's no cute version of someone walking and a bunch of snakes following them. No, that's just big yikes, right? Leader of lions, bunch of lions following me around. That's at least cool. I think that's cooler than cooler in the traditional sense than snakes would be to the average person, right? Especially if the lions aren't just mauling people to death. But I feel like even if the snakes aren't biting people, people would still not be stoked about that. Right? Just suddenly there's snakes everywhere. Leader of butterflies, actually that's the one I want. Wherever I go, there's just butterflies. Beautiful, iridescent, multicolored, different species, right? Hundreds of different species of butterflies that go and sit on the walls, beautifully opening their little wings. Yeah, I want to be leader of butterflies. Like it wouldn't probably be practical, right? I feel like you would get more done with crows. Your crows probably eat my butterflies. They would enjoy it, in fact. But still, butterflies would be so cool. Are coconuts the biggest nuts? Are coconuts nuts? Hey Google, are coconuts? Hey Google, are coconuts nuts? I think they're fruits. Coconut is a fruit. Yeah, is a fruit, not a nut. In fact, coconut falls under a subcategory known as drupes, 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 which are defined as fruits that have an inner flesh and seed surrounded by a hard shell. Yeah, how about that? Oh, little coconuts. We've been bamboozled. I haven't had too many coconuts as a part of my diet in my life. Most of the coconut I've ever consumed came in the shredded, pre-packaged variety, or the liquefied oil in a plastic jar variety. What have we done? What have we done? Convenience. Maybe if I live close to the ocean one day, I'll have access to coconuts. Maybe they're good for you in some way or another. I'm so sorry. I'm a fuzzy man child. You were blessed, bro. You don't have anything to apologize for. I've never seen a green heron either, duck. Love that you're aware enough to capture these moments with your brain camera. My brain camera is 1 megapixel. For now, dude. Right. Might be 1 megapixel for now. Within the next 20 years, you'll probably be able to upgrade it. Question is will you want to? Because it's gonna be up to you. And the most important question to ask on top of that is, does it make you feel more alive? Right? Because I feel like that is in large part maybe the biggest risk, is if you are too preoccupied with capturing, storing, remembering, are you actually living? Right? Or are you just documenting? And like I'm trying to be super mindful of that question myself as well. Do 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 11:11. It's 17:17 right now, with 77% on my battery. 77, 17:17. Yeah, more synchronicity. Giovanna rescued a dragonfly and told my dad to call him the queen of dragonflies. That's so cute, actually. Just heard the word coconut, made my brain start singing the lime in the coconut. Why am I like this? You have been brain damaged by the internet. That's what I believe, right? I don't think it's necessarily all bad. I just think the way that our brains used to be has now been damaged, right? But fortunately, because of that damage, your brain is expected to regrow in new and novel ways. And if you aren't mindful of how it regrows, it might be done for you. The sun is freaking fire my lasering at me, right? That's why I advocate for conscious evolution. It's literally this acceptance that you are in a state of reality where most of your evolution have already happened biologically, right? That there's a lot of time that have passed for you to be in this form right now, to be this person, a lot of time. So it isn't going to continue happening at the scale of your life any faster. So what you need to become aware of is the fact that all of the evolution that's going to happen in your lifetime is going to happen because of your consciousness, right? And that includes augmentation, right? You can you can see pretty much anything as augmentation. Literally changing your diet is an augmentation to your being. It's not bad, but it is different. I'm going to concede again. You win, son. You're strong, yo. You're too strong for me. Ski bop. New spot picked. Maybe this is good, actually. Maybe the sun is helping us with perspective. We get to be in multiple different places, essentially, right? Like imagine ourselves having a conversation as a bunch of friends, and then as we do, we're moving around or something, right? Peppy is like, oh, we're gonna play? No, Peppy, not right now. Woo! Swoop! Out of this direct sunlight again. There's still sun coming through, but it's kind of nice actually. My favorite corner of the interwebs, the melt more space. A place where you can consciously evolve. You can't help but consciously evolve right? I feel like that should also be stressed. It's kind of like something that happens automatically because you grow even if you don't intend to, right? The version of you that you are right now is different, I believe, for the better than the version of you were 10 years ago, right? So you are consciously evolving whether you choose to or not. Now it's just a matter of leaning into it. Joshmo, love again to you. It's sometimes my biggest enemy. Shout out. No. Queen of Dragonflies. I mean, words just trigger songs in general for me. I've always been like this. I feel like it's a good thing, right? You get to have live music and you hear words randomly in the world. That sounds like a cool hack. Let's expand upon the curiosities that surround harmonic balance. So the thing that it brings up in me in talking about this idea, harmonic balance, is voices, actually, Joshmo, where I wonder if I could analyze the way my voice sounds to all its frequencies, how would that register? Does it create harmonies inside my cells or inside the cells of other people? Is there something definitively that I can pinpoint that is seen as a harmonic resonance or something that brings harmonic balance inside my own voice? Which level of megahertz touches you? I mean, I feel like unfortunately I have been a little bit biased to 40 hertz because apparently that's like the good one. But I like to play with the 111 hertz resonance, right? Because then I can add my own voice's resonance and I can use the oscillation of the airwaves to my advantage. I've done it on stream once. It's a little bit odd, right? It's a little bit odd. I completely agree. So that's mine. Vibration is the truth, my friends. We're literally speaking in vibrations right now, right? If you added a Fourier function to my voice, or at least the sound output of my voice, it would literally be a bunch of sine waves that collapses into the sounds that I'm making right now, right? And like something as basic as this at different frequencies, right? Different amplitudes, different speeds, just this. And a bunch of them makes the sounds I'm making. It's absurd. It's so crazy. We can love and we can also hate at the same level. We vibrate and we exist. We attract as well on top of that vibration. Kristen, if you are the queen of typos, then I'm the queen of noticing funny typos and pointing them out because I think they're cute and delightful. And then people think I'm making fun of them. It's interesting that you bring this up actually. Oh, I forgot. When it was 1717, it's also the 17th of September today. So there was a third 17 in there. Uh, I sent Christian's dad a message today because I'm going to, go over to their place. And I was like, Papcho, I wanted to ask Christian, but since I'm coming to your place, I think I ought to ask you, is it okay if I come and stay at your place from like Tuesday to Thursday? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And I say something like, see you soon and early soon, right? It was like a typo kind of, I was like, see you soon or see you earlier than we know or something like that, right? And then I like saw the message. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And I deleted the message. And then I said, see you soon. And then he sent back, or earlier soon. And I'm like, yeah, that is Pop Show. So I also saw it as like him poking fun. And I feel like it's a matter of where you stand, right? If it's something you're super insecure about, making a mistake, and then someone points it out, your insecurity is only going to be amplified because that's the vibration that you're resonating at, right? So no matter what that other person shares, because you're already resonating at the frequency of insecurity, it's going to amplify because they just get energy. They don't know what to do with that energy, so they're going to do with that energy what they're already doing. And the vice versa is true as well. Laughing at myself has been better than being insecure about making mistakes. I love the 471 hertz, of course. Even more love. We can love and we can also hate at the same level. Again, love to you, but the Joshmo. Louisiana. Oh, I think that was a funny too. Vibrations and attraction, yes. Bus moment. Are you just feeling chillax today? I love chillax. I do feel kind of calm. Like I do plan on pulling a card soon. So let's remind ourselves of being alive. This makes me think about a poem that Christian wrote as well. Starting something like, I breathe smoke to appreciate air. It is a poem about being alive. I wonder if he posted that one. I wish it was easier for me to search. I want an AI attached to Christian's poems as well. You can hear him fighting me on it. The soup tastes good today. Joshmo, I'm happy that you're having a good time, bro. I don't know what soup you're having, but as long as you are being happily fed, feed crows peanuts. Show up for love. Green, red, purple, and blue errands and all. I also want some of that soup, bro. Love is true. All right, a card, shall we? So think, right? And I do believe this works this way. Think what is the best card that we could pull for today's stream. Imagine it in your mind, right? It can be a color, it can be an idea, it can be a shape. Dear Heart poem. Hey, Nansheen. Christian's poetry is truly beautiful. I envy his prowess. He has been writing since he was like 15 or something, though. So he has like 13 years of writing poetry. I'm still catching up. Yeah, I'm like on year 2 or something. If I add 11 more years of progress, surely my poetry will also get better. This one, super rare yellow. I mean, like yellow is very much a part of the center. Like I love this card. This card is card number 44. It's like one of my, it's the number I associate with the most, 44. If you take those two fours and you flip one of it on its like axis, right? So this side points the other way and you attach them to each other, it makes the Dega symbol. So that's what I see every single time I see the number 44. The Dega symbol literally stands for enlightenment or dawn, right? Like that moment at which there's no shadow of a doubt. You know, love is true. A new day has started. Spiraling into love. That purple is beautiful. I was fixating on a purple flower on my yard as we were pulling the card, of course. Right? Literally, as I was mentioning, like however it manifests for you, right? That's how we project energy. Spiraling into love. It's a sexual card, true. But again, at least for me, I see it as the relationship you're having right now with life, right? There is masculinity and femininity in every single one of us. That fractal, that spiral in every single one of us. Your masculine part, and this is my perspective again, I feel like I have to say this, even if all your friends know this, because I don't know anything. I'm not going to be a judge or be like, oh, you don't believe this? You know, guess you're wrong. No. The way I see it is your masculine side is the side of you that is unchanged, the side of you that is having this experience right now, right? That notices the experience of being alive, that notices the feelings of being alive, right? And then there is the version of you that is alive, this fleshy version, this worldly version, this peppy version, right? Alive. Ay, 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 ay. Right? Like so alive. And this spiral that we're in, the spiral into love, is this relationship you have with life. It's what you show up for. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. You won. You did it. You got me. Little footsie on my arm. Are we just gonna stay all made like this? Okay. I need to read my card, Tupi. Thank you. Thank you so much for the lovin's. I'll be with you momentarily, okay? Spiraling into love one more time. Dan's still here. Bless, bro. Luckily, I can just. Wait a second. I lost the. Whoa. How many did I miss? Okay, here we go. Y'all, I lost the .env file for my app, and now I'm grumpy. Yeah, grumpity grum. I felt the grumpy with you. I thought about saying something, but then I just breathed instead. Spiraling into love, bro. Spiraling into love, man. I'm sorry, dude. 44 today. Yesterday was New Beginnings, right? Thank you, Simon, for echoing as well the lovin's from that card. Luckily, I can just get my collaborations to share theirs. There we go. No more coding this morning. Love is true. I'm happy to hear that at least. Pippi is too cute. Truly a little blessing in my life, right? Isn't it Sunday? It is. It is Sunday. Code this morning, though. I got my comments for the day. So it's all good. Your commits, your, what do they call it at Christian's workplace? Your tickets. Yeah, that's what they called it. I have to fill my tickets. You have like arbitrary little instructions that have been set. You'll probably get to know tickets very intimately, bro. I don't have to tell you anything. Card number 44. Spiraling into love. Oh my goodness, Dan. Dan, are you ready to get yourself riggedy wrecketh? One of the core meanings of this card is intimacy and communication. Wow, that's how we started today's stream. We asked the question of, we know what it takes to stay alive. Now we need to figure out what it takes to make us feel alive, right? And Dan mentioned intimacy is one of the things that makes him feel alive. You know what? I'm just gonna embrace the direct sunlight at this point. It's a little bit lower now, so it's a little bit more on the red spectrum. But I feel like I'm not gonna hide. I shall embrace the sunlight. I'm hopeful it pays off. Love is true, bro. Your work, your effort will never be wasted. All right? Remember that. Whatever effort you're applying to whatever endeavor, it won't be wasted. You will learn no matter what. And that's what we're showing up for. Communication with the world, right? Intimacy with the world. The spiral helix of our DNA swirls around this sacred couple and quickens communication of their intimacy. Human DNA helps connect us to the web of creation. It holds ancestral knowledge as well as future potential in a vast library of information. Also, spiraling around this couple are spirals of possibility that have only to be recognized in order to be activated. As they experience both human sexuality and universal love, this information stimulates their conscious decision to communicate with genuine intimacy. There are many styles of communication. Simple words may be effective for making a statement or providing instructions. However, when concepts and emotions exchange, when concept and emotions enter the exchange, words often fail to convey the message intended. This card asks you that you view the way you communicate. Do you speak from your heart with respect and serenity? Do you truly listen to the people with whom you are speaking? Resolve to look into the eyes of the person with whom you are communicating and recognize the marvelous being that stands or sits before you. Observe both your own and the other's body language. and feel their essence. Right? Communicates. Oh, goodness. Observe both your own and the other's body language and feel their essence. Listen with discernment before you respond. Formulate your words as if they are prayers, wanting to be shared. With gentle grace and positive intent, speak your truth in the most intimate way you are able. Yeah. Yeah. I love this card. It's such a good one. Weren't you just talking about intimacy? Yes, he was. He was, Louisiana. He was literally like straight up hit it on the head with the word intimacy, even. Mel, you're hilarious. Thank you. Who needs tears? I'm happy that you think so. I do try. Sometimes too hard, right? I do want to be entertaining and funny. A little bit, right? Just like I want to put a smile on your face. You know, whatever that takes, I'll push towards it. This card is perfect. Thank you for sharing, Malti. Thank you for letting me share it with you. Who needs tears? We always manage to come full circle. Like it almost feels eerie to me sometimes, Dan, where a part of me like thinks, you know, is this actually happening, right? Because, and this is the way that I do it, and I feel like it's not, apparently, people consider you a schizophrenic if you do this. Of course, I had to brain damage myself with that piece of information. But yeah, right? If you take every single moment, and this is how it was communicated to me, right? And I don't believe it, but I am going to share it with you anyway. And I'm going to share my take as to why I don't believe it. Or not necessarily believe it, but don't subscribe to that line of thinking. So it basically goes, if you prescribe synchronistic meaning, right, to everything in your life, in other words, you to a maybe unhealthy extent or to an extreme extent, and maybe that is the intent of sharing this fractal, see significance in something, right? And like the way that I can articulate it is like maybe you're seeing a butterfly while you're going through this, you know, idea of transforming from the version of you that you were to the version of you that you want to be. And then it means too much to you, right? And you cut everybody out from your life because you're now metamorphosizing or whatever, right? Sure, right? But like there's a certain level of not agreeing with it where it comes from a place of the significance you self-apply to your life, right? Because you can also experience, you know, synchronicity throughout your day and not apply any meaning to it, believing that it doesn't mean anything for you, right? And by default, if you believe that about your experience, that is what's going to be true, whether or not it is, right? Oh, my experience means nothing, and there's nothing to look forward to. And then day by day, because that's what you believe, that is the only thing that you allow yourself. And the vice versa is true as well. So, yeah, our ability to come full circle is too consistent for me to not see it as significant. And again, this is where the craziness a little bit comes in on my side, because I imagine us having done this an infinite amount of times, right? And there is an infinite amount of different cards that I pulled in that moment. And I just happen to have pulled that one today with the intent that we shared, with the conversations that we had as like an affirmation to this understanding we're trying to communicate. And I can see it as like, oh yeah, it's a coincidence. Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter that it happened like that, right? Doesn't mean anything. Or I can be like, wow, that's pretty cool. This makes me feel alive. Boom, right? The connection that you notice with life. All right, we did it. We pulled the card. Let's play some kalimba before we say goodbye. I'm gonna have to go and get some packing done. And then tomorrow you'll see me at Johan's. I'm gonna transmute time and space, and I'm gonna show up in a new place. Wow! Right? I'm gonna have to re-render my environment. Damn it! Shucks. The moment is created, space that is constantly reinforced by positive individuals that are coming to an agreement that we want this space to be sacred. What a that yes, see, Joe Schmo, I love that. That one is too good, dude. That one needs to go in the bag. Bruh, YouTube doesn't make it easy. But I do not give up easily either, so. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. This moment is created. Love is true. Comments worth saying. Do. This moment is a created space that is constantly reinforced by positive individuals that are coming to an agreement that we want this space to be sacred. Yo, I feel like I need to add that to the new, new chatter introduction channel or something. Thank you, Brother Joe Schmo, for always sharing so beautifully. And so this space becomes sacred. We bond because we bond. We smile as a community. Love is true. Bro. If that ain't the truth, then I don't know what is, dude. Like, you friends have reaffirmed to me more than anything else in this universe the truth of love when you show up for it. Right, I could have never known. Yo, yes, that's beautiful. I just looked straight into the sun. There's unfortunately a piece of man-made in the middle of that scene. Two pieces of man-made. I'm sorry. Maybe I should try and punch in. Nah, you're right. White is better. I mean, maybe the man-made can be appreciated for a part of it as well. Safe travels, Melty. Thank you, Doctor. I love your summons of this place, Joe. Always spot on. Joe is intergalactic. Damn, he's connected at the source. I love yours. Love again. Summerations. Safe travels. I flippity fluff and love you as we do you too, Jovan. So many blessings to you, dear one. This is the stuff we do because we love doing stuff like this. Swish, squish, and a hug and such. Here, because we're showing up for love. Nice. We got a second microphone connected. It's time for us to play some kalimba. I have 74% battery. It is 17:43. It's probably gonna click over to 44 real soon. Gonna play my kalimba for 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The sun setteth on another day. It's up to you, friends, now. Where's the best exposure? Is that? The brightness does have an appeal to it. Let me open and see. Bling blang. I love this place. I love you, whoever you are. Blessings and cool breezes. Brother Joe Schmo sending echoes of love throughout the world. Can I have warm breezes, please? Sending them warm breezes to you. It's probably already getting cold for you friends in America and Canada right now. Sending you friends so much warmth, so much love. Thank you, Nancy, for joining me too. Thank you, beautiful Joe Schmo. Tropical saltwater winds. I haven't experienced those in a while. Thank you for even bringing them into my mind verbally. Doop, 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 doop. There we go. There's our Shan messages now. We'll switchery do back around. Here we go. It's like the equivalent of maybe then like take a step back. You're too close right now. I'm joking, of course. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. For seriously, love you all so very humongously, gargantuanly, vastly, immensely, staggeringly, dearly, melt in all of you. Oh, so very incredibly, wonderfully, amazingly, remarkably, spectacularly, impressively, inspiringly, gorgeously, radiantly, mystically, magically, magical, divine friends that I'm grateful to be alive with. As I am grateful to be alive alongside you. Thank you, dear Shan, for sending us your love-ins, for letting all of us experience being loved like that, right? How often do people take the time and the effort to, what do you call those? Descriptives? Hey Google, define descriptive words. Descriptive words are words that describe or give us information more about things. A descriptive word can be a color, size, shape, texture, a number to a name, just a few. Descriptive verbs help you understand more when you're reading. Yeah. How often do people use 15 Gatling gun beautiful descriptions of you getting love bombed, getting all of the nonsense, blasted out? So much love filling every single one of your cells that there's no more room for any bad vibes. Sending all of that love right back to you, Shan. You deserve that and so much more. Thank you for joining me, for finding yourself here once again. I'll see you, friends, tomorrow. Maybe we'll have Johan joining us. Hopefully. I would like it. Would be nice. Grateful and enthusiastic about this togetherness. You are beautiful. Every bit of you. Every single little schmidt. Even like the depth, right? That technically there's like a lot of you at like the first millimeter. And then we can go down 1 millimeter. And then there's a lot to you. And then we go down another millimeter. And then there's so much to you, right? And then even if you do that down millimeter by millimeter to your core, that is still going to be a drop in the bucket as to what's going on inside here, right? Hopes, dreams, imaginations about better futures, possibilities, things that you would like to do, projects you would like to take on, stuff you'd like to build or make or paint. The depth that is you extends infinitely, right? Let yourself feel alive, Johan. I like that guy. He's a cool dude. I'm super grateful to have met him through friends as well, right? Like he became a part of the friend group I was in when I was in China. So there's a part of me that went like, no, don't take my friends from me. Boom, became one of my friends, gave me more friends instead of taking friends from me. He seems like a mad scientist. He is an actual mad scientist, right? Like I'm not even joking. He's studying. He has a degree, is getting his honors now in computer science, right? So he's a literal scientist. a computer one. Like he's like both him and Christian are mad scientists. My favorite kind of people. Those are the people that we need. Oh, the people that help us actually, create massive waves that help us change the world. The technology needs to be developed so that we can give it to people. Right. Sending you friends, lovins. Thank you for joining me, finding yourself here, doing this alongside me, consciously evolving. I'll see you friends again soon. No more than 24 hours later. Sending you lovins. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel alive. I'm thinking about how if I would ask this question of a philosopher and me trying to explain to him what it is that's happening right now, if they would understand. It's like, what do you mean you feel alive? Sitting and talking to a piece of technology. It's like, so get this. At the other side of the piece of technology are people in the same way that you are right across from me right now. And it's just a matter of how much of your mental bandwidth you can take to consider that. Right? Unfortunately, limited. We can't actually do the full thing. I'll start the Zoom for the Sangha meeting in 8 minutes. I won't be able to talk just yet. Love to you. Power is back in time. Natalie, do join Shan for the Sangha. Sam will be there too. I'll be packing, sending you love. Thank you for finding yourself here. You were missed in the yoga as well. Just in time to send love and to Natalie. Thank you, dear friends, for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers! Until we do this again.